GeneralsGentlemen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the UK Forces for Company of Heroes 2. We are the GeneralsGentlemen. My name is The Machine.
My name is Archon Hawk, and please get hyped. Please get as hyped as possible. We are excited to have the UK Forces in Company of Heroes 2. As Shoutcasters, we do love new content. UK Forces is definitely new content.
Yeah, I think they're a really well-designed faction. I played them a lot back in Alpha, and they have a lot of interesting dynamics in terms of how they actually compare to the Axis infantry. Especially the fact that they're very strong long range rather than close, so it means as Axis you want to be very aggressive. And as for our players, we do have Ipkaifung as our Brits.
You may have heard of him.
Fanboys, get hyped. This guy is a big deal.
He is a very big deal.
He, the admin of ESL, well known in the community here, and his opponent is DesertFoxRommel, who I'm pretty sure this is the Empire Urban Rommel, the YouTuber guy.
Yeah, I'm assuming, yes. That's what I guessed when I saw Rommel up there. So hoping also a big player. So this should be an awesome showcase match for the UK Forces.
Yeah.
Starting off here, so Ipkaifung going to be going for another infantry company.
Section.
Section. I was tossing up between section and company trying to find the right word. Infantry section, of course, and also going to be going for that Vickers machine gun for control over the garrisons in the middle of our map, which is Arnhem checkpoint.
Yeah. To be expected when there's a brand new faction on a brand new map. Takes us a while to get our head around these things.
It definitely does. This is my first little taster of the UK Forces.
What I would recommend though is an elaborate system where if you forget a name, start like coughing during a sentence.
I try and draw my words out, machine, as much as possible.
It looks like Ipkaifung has built a.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Yeah, that'll work. Don't worry. I got it all planned out. I just hope our viewers don't find out. That'll ruin our system that we have.
It really would. Tier 2 going to be going down here as well for Ipkaifung. Pretty standard choice for the UK Forces, getting that in early, and we'll see what he decides to go for. Wow,
very
really
fast
early
AEC. He went for his fuel straight away, so he has that one. So tell us about the AEC. So
the AEC is an armored car. And it's quite similar to the Puma in terms of the way it plays out and kind of the damage it deals. It's actually a choice when you go for that tier 2. You can either go for the AEC or alternatively you can go for the
the Bofors.
Oh yeah, the Bofors, of course.
The AA emplacement.
The emplacement. So will be Ipkaifung deciding to go for this AEC.
Actually, it was the unlock for the AEC.
Unlock for the AEC.
You have to unlock
he hasn't
it.
Actually built one yet. No.
I was going to say that seemed a bit too fast.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But it definitely will be showing up with the Kubel. You can't really counter the Kubel with the infantry sections. They have no snares, no AT grenades. You can give them upgrades, Brens and Piats, neither of which though are particularly effective against the Kubel. The Piat doesn't actually hit squads on the move.
We also have a squad of Royal Engineers coming out here, a tier 2 unit from Ipkaifung. Does get those repairs down. Has a lot of other cool abilities as well.
Yeah, they're basically the sappers from Company of Heroes 1. Now, one thing that I haven't actually mentioned that I really like about Ipkaifung's playstyle is the thing is with the infantry sections is they're expensive. They don't fight very well up close. So what that means is in the early game, it's hard to kind of play against Axis that are spending a lot of their manpower on squads to be very aggressive. You can't win the one-on-one engagement. So what you generally want to do is sort of group up your squads, keep them together, and synergize them around each other. You want to fight 2v2 engagements, 2v1, have a Vickers as support. So he actually went for the left side and committed entirely, rather than splitting up his forces, sending one squad to the right, trying to cap the munitions, trying to cap the middle. You can't really do that. And it's a different mentality to take as Brits, because when you are playing Soviets and US, generally you want to do that. You want to go for those one-on-one engagements, try and spread out, be very aggressive. But with the Brits, it's a lot more defensive playstyle, and I like how it's quite organic in how it forces that playstyle.
Definitely is, yeah, it's really nice. The UK Forces definitely feel very well designed. In addition, you do have those cool little cover indicators over the infantry sections. Yes, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Fantastic. I definitely am. Thank you, Machine. I've been casting for a while now. It's fairly great. They do get a debuff when they're outside of cover. That is a reload debuff as far as we're aware. So, which means they want to be in cover as much as possible, so they're firing at full capacity, really getting those rifles working. So again, reinforcing how good Ipkaifung's playstyle has been so far.
Yeah.
Those long range engagements, staying inside the garrisons, which of course.
But Rommel
Duke can cover.
has the map advantage. He has pretty much the entire map here, apart from this left side. Nice work with the Kubel. Gets actually doesn't get the suppression. No,
Still getting
they're
Vickers
still
fire actually
firing.
from the side. Yeah, the Kubel's got to be careful.
And the Stone Pioneers facing off against the Royal Engineers.
Royal Engineers in the heavy cover, and they do have the submachine guns as well. They could win this engagement for sure.
Yeah, they have the Stens. They're definitely nowhere near as powerful as the Stone Pioneers, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
Especially if you compare them to Pioneers. They're much more effective, especially when you get the 5-man squads. It is an upgrade from your Tier 1 building, 25 fuel. And that is the AEC coming out. Not a surprise to see that one. It will definitely force the Kubel away. Rommel has to be careful though. His Kubel is getting pretty low, but at least these squads are suppressed.
Yeah, just trying to bait this one out as long as possible as Ipkaifung wants to get the AC on the field. Battle Route Headquarters went down a little while ago. Has that forward retreat point as well. Right in the middle. Wants to try and keep a hold of these garrisons, and the victory point in the middle does Rommel.
Yeah, Rommel has a really great hold, not only with the map control, but now with this forward Battle Group Headquarters in a really great spot. I would say it's in a pretty risky spot though. It's out in the open. And it has a very direct firing path down the road. It's actually going to be pretty easy to kill with the 6-pounder AT guns. Personally, I would have preferred to see it behind the church, because then it would have been harder to actually siege with the AT guns, even behind here. It's in a pretty high risk, high reward spot, depending on how Ipkaifung, if he actually does decide to try and push it. But at the moment, he is no position to do so. But later on down the line, that one could go down pretty easily if he commits to it. So Ipkaifung has a fair bit of manpower in the bank. Going for his sniper now, actually.
Fantastic.
So sniper's pretty great against the 4-man squads, Sturm Pioneers, the Fallschirmjäger, Obers. But with a lot of Volks on the field, it's going to be a bit harder to use it.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice here from Rommel. Normally the UKF sniper is great, but Volks can be played for a change, so 5-man squads not going to suffer quite as hard. AC are going to be doing a little bit of damage against these Volks, but not a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
it's small contributions.
It's similar to a Puma. It has a pretty decent penetration on its gun. It's very fast, so it's good against tanks, but pretty lackluster against infantry.
Kubel's got to be careful here.
Yeah, see,
two Shreks.
As we can see, getting forced away, not a chance. Not like a Stuart, not like a T-70. It definitely is an AT vehicle. And it actually has 400 health for the record, so it will take 2 Raketten shots and a Shrek. So it's a bit more survivable than a T-70. And he's actually going for the Kubel, fires a shot off. It will take 2 shots, though, to take that one down. And still, the cutoff remains. The thing is with Arnhem checkpoint is there's a lot of really punishing cutoffs. There's one here as well, where you can lose the territory. So getting this these points secured is pretty important, and we do see a Vickers there locking over that one. So great positioning of the Vickers. Getting a trench down there would be nice as well, but then you're leaving a squad immobile. And otherwise, also the Brennans would be an option here. Has enough munitions for 2 of them, but we do see the increased squad sizes has completed, so he has the 5-man squads.
You're going to have an additional model on each one of those, which will be nice. And our big bad UKF sniper is going to be coming out here as well with his big bad 55 caliber gun.
Yeah, it's the boys AT rifle. So it one-shots infantry. It has a pretty slow rate of fire though. Very nice cloak. It's like the Osthia sniper. It cloaks even whilst out of cover for a short delay until it then resumes its revealmentness. Did I do good?
Excellent English there, Machine. I would have coughed a couple of times personally, but
Of course.
I respect your choices.
Yeah.
So hasn't had a big impact yet. Really does want to play around those infantry sections.
Well, I mean, here on the channel, we do have a lot of people that aren't native English speakers, so we want to try and teach people good English. You know, make sure people can get away. Whoa, never mind that, because the AEC going deep got hit by the Raketten and popped the smoke to avoid that one. The smoke is actually available at Vet 0. It's very, very strong. Puma needs Veterancy 1 for the smoke. I don't think it did always, but it definitely does now require Vet 1 and a Panzer 2. Where is the... Oh, there it is. That's the Battle Group head... Sorry, the Panzer headquarters.
Panzer headquarters. Interesting spot that it's in.
It's a cutoff, though. So it's
a cutoff, so which is quite important. It's just whether it gets sieged later on in the game from in front, but it does look down a nice portion of the map and keeps control of that cutoff. has a bit of an eye on the VP as well. So
Yeah, actually the thing is though, is the vines are a shot blocker for the Panzer headquarters.
Excellent point.
So you can't really fire through that. That's actually up elevation as well. Panzer II though, it's fantastic against the infantry sections. Again, not having the snare, having them pretty expensive squads, it's very deadly. But the AEC is already here, and the AEC is going to be an absolute hard counter, especially with the sniper. He has the critical shot, which can get a damaged engine. So Rommel has to be very careful with his Panzer II, but it has a lot of potential. Like right now, in fact, he could actually wipe the squad if he chases it down far enough. Whereas the AEC, it's
fully repaired and on its way.
Yeah, other side of the map here, so it looks like Rommel will get this snipe, but he's on a road, so will be faster movement speed.
I think the Panzer II is probably going to back away. Yeah, it goes off to the side there. Smart move.
Yeah, Rommel actually played that well. He didn't chase it too deep. If he went all the way down, he could have got that taken out. So Rommel is definitely playing a pretty conservative game, and I do quite like to see that here. Snipers, oh, he may lose this one, but the AEC has found a shot. He's on the road now, gets the damage engine. AEC is firing. This is a dead Panzer II.
The Panzer II is going to be going down here. The Shrek support's going to be coming in now, but not in time. The Panzer II goes down.
Too late.
Unfortunate for Rommel. Don't know about that choice there, going for a Panzer II when the AEC's already out on the field. Royal Engineers will actually get forced off here as well. And our UKF sniper will have a little bit more free reign. Definitely could have been in some serious trouble with that Panzer II on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really important to have the sniper near the AEC, because it's like pretty much your only support that you have. You do actually have a target tread ability, which slows and can immobilize a tank, but that takes a while to channel, and so you can't really fight that like during an engagement on its own. You need to have that with supporting, you know, a tank of some kind or an AT gun.
We will excitingly have our commander lock in here for Ipkaifung as well. Commando.
Yeah, commandos are fantastic.
And that's going to be a glider, and that will be dropping in said commando squad.
Yeah, and this was a great response. Volks getting retreated. There's a pretty big delay retreating that one. So the glider actually has health, and when you call it in, it shows you all the terrain that can damage it.
Oh, the sniper's getting low. They're also going to actually try and chase this one up. Oh! One rifle shot. A small breath of air away from its doom. And the infantry section going to be forced to come in up close, but that's okay. We'll survive this one. Kubel actually still alive, so nice unit preservation here from Rommel.
If those snipers didn't have... Sorry, if the Volks didn't have the Shreks, they would have killed that one. Yeah, especially with the AEC, it's actually pretty impressive that Kubel is still on the field, keeping it very close to his battlegroup headquarters. So I like how Rommel he's kept his Kubel very, very safe. He hasn't tried to push out. And Obers are on the field with their MG-34, very, very powerful light machine gun, able to fire at even the infantry sections at long range. Ipkaifung really should get some Brens now, especially with the Obers on the field. But he's got commandos capping the munitions point. Vickers getting some nice suppression, but there's 4 squads. Nice splitting as well.
Might be too many for it to actually suppress here. Wants to focus down those Obers. If they're getting too close, they're actually in the heavy cover now. That Vickers is going to have to get out of there.
Yeah, and look how low the Vickers is. And Nade might actually clear it. Can afford it too. No, he has the infiltration tactics. He can use the grenade. Doesn't actually go for it though.
Oh, the Obers could wipe this one on the retreat. There's the retreat coming through, but can the Obers get there in time? The AEC should have blocked for it. It's going to be enough.
Oh, nice work.
Very nicely
played. The Obers
played.
would have wiped that one, I think, if it wasn't for the AEC. So, Kaifung playing a nice game.
Commandos decided not to come in from the back lines here, playing it safe and just goes with the cap game.
Yeah, they do have smoke grenades for the record, so you can actually use them to close the gap, but they do require Vet 1. Not like shocks, which have them straight away, so you've got to be a bit more careful with them.
We'll also have access to those demolition charges, in addition to some nice garrison clearing grenades. I think they're...
Light gammon.
Light gammon.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They are so good against garrisons.
Very nice.
One of the weaknesses of Brits is their garrison clearing isn't exactly very good. This is the cutoff now here, but can he hold it? Oh, Raketten gets a shot. But look at the Volks has to retreat. Kubel getting the commandos. Oh, the gammon bomb gets a wipe. That was a grenade you don't want to mess around with.
The AC might actually go down here. Oh, just jukes. The Panzer can it keep going? Yes, it can. Keep moving. What?
No, he blew up.
Oh,
new animation, I think, that the guy crawled out of the gun, but he died. Yeah, that was a bit of a misplay there. Kaifung actually lost that one. Must have been microing his squads. But the AEC's down, which is a huge sigh of release for Rommel. Going to be able to use his infantry a bit more safely, especially the Ogres. Having the AEC is
That
very
sniper
important.
is so low. Oh, thankfully Ipkaifung actually does realize that and backs it away. Don't want to be walking at him when it's a rifle shot away from Doom. Ipkaifung doing a pretty good job, having some pretty nice map control, but trying to fight really close to the battle group headquarters, probably not the best idea. I'm not sure if he knows it's there. I'm assuming he does. I think the AEC walked past it at some point, but he must have some inkling that the amount of squads that are coming around there. Yeah, he did see it. Definitely does see it.
Yeah, he has got vision on it right now. And what would be good actually is the artillery flare. On your infantry sections, you can upgrade either a med kit or the pyrotechnic supplies. Basically, they throw a smoke grenade. It's pretty short range, but it calls in the artillery strike. That's a grenade coming through. Oh no, that's a gammon bomb. So you actually can unlock the gammon bombs if you go on your platoon, company command post, and you lock in the specialization hammer. You have a choice of either hammer or anvil. And that gates either the Comet, which is kind of like a Panther, or the Churchill, which is like a KV-1, but better. But as well as that, you actually have a few other abilities. Those light gammon bombs were one of the things that you just saw. Very good against garrisons, but the timer is like 3 seconds, so it's really easy to dodge. So it's kind of like a satchel charge, but it doesn't blow up the garrison. I think that's because they actually changed the way garrisons are destroyed by grenades. If you read the patch notes for September 3rd patch, basically the grenades are now considered a light explosive, which means they do less damage against garrisons. So I'm assuming that is actually in this build now.
Yes.
This is before September 3rd, but like
I assume
it's the alpha build, so or the trial build rather. Either way, still no Brens, which I would love to see, but there is a few abilities here which are very powerful. And you can't afford to have both Brens and the air supremacy operation. Very, very expensive.
325 munitions and something we haven't seen yet. Very excited about STGs coming out here onto this Over squad. That's going to be really great actually against the infantry section because it will get rid of that nasty cover that the infantry section's going to be playing in all the time. So the STGs are going to shred straight through that heavy cover.
Volk squad getting very low, but this Kubel still doing great work. Section is behind the cover, so not getting suppressed, but the commandos were, and that was very important. Yeah, the STGs are so powerful up close, and that really is the weakness of these sections. So I do love that choice here for Rommel. Sniper's very, very low, still firing some shots. Going for the Kubel, it would seem. We won't kill it with one shot, though, I don't think. Yeah, we'll take another one. And a few more rifle shots as well, but look how low it is. The STGs focused it! He wasn't actually cloaked. He should have gone to the fence with that sniper down. How is Kaifung going to deal with these Obersoldaten? And that's really the question now. Commandos have... Oh, that's not commandos. That's the Royal Engineers.
Not going to be able to kill the Rokitha, I don't think. I'm pretty sure... Well, no, it wasn't in reinforced range. Wow.
Oh, actually, the Kubel drove into the Arc just as the Vickers set up. Could have wiped that one pretty quickly if he stood around a bit longer, but he didn't know it was on its way. So... Ipkaifung, he's actually spent a fair bit of his munitions on these grenades. So maybe that's why he hasn't decided to go for those Brens. Other than that, he doesn't have a lot of fuel. He's cut off, so he's in actually a pretty tricky spot. If he had a Cromwell, it'd be great to deal with the Obers, the infantry. He only has 2 Shreks as well, bear that in mind. That's not a lot. A couple of Raketans, though. So Rommel has a pretty well-rounded composition. He does also have the tier 4, and he has 195 fuel. Looks like he's actually going for his Command Panther.
Definitely looks like he's heading that way with the amount of fuel he has banked up at the moment.
Yeah.
Short of that, Ipkaifung has a bit of manpower in the bank now. Probably just deciding what he wants to spend it on. Does need some more infantry squads out on the field, though, if he wants to try and contest with these Obersoldaten.
It's a funny thought, though, isn't it? Manpower in the bank. Like, I wonder what the conversion rate is between manpower and the British pounds.
I'm really not sure what you get for that.
Yeah, you go into a bank and it's like, hey, can I have some money? I don't have cash, but
I've got about 1,000 manpower backed up. Could you exchange that?
I've got a couple of squads of riflemen, and I've got a munitions cache as well. Yeah. But either way, the infantry sections are in mass.
Oh.
Overs being forced out of their cover. Oh, actually, he may lose the Volks.
Oh.
He got a nade off. It wasn't worth it, though. And now he's down to a single Shrek, but here comes the Command Panther. No AT at all for Ipkaifung.
Commando's going to start bleeding here. They really have to run away. That's an expensive squad that you don't want to lose.
Yeah, especially now with a Pintle.
That was back away in time.
Now with the Pintle. Not exactly well timed.
Yes.
Either way, though, he really shouldn't be fighting this. I don't really know why he's sticking around. He has Obers.
He's going to be bleeding manpower here at this point.
Yeah, great work here from Rommel, and the Panther's actually a really good choice. The thing is with the Brits is they have some great late game tanks. They've got the Comet, the Churchill, and those are really what the Brits want to have in the late game. But the Panther counters them quite hard, especially the Command Panther with the extra sight range. The Comet, it's similar to a Panther, but it has less armor and it doesn't have as good of a gun as well. It doesn't penetrate as much. So the Panther wins the 1v1 duel every time. The Comet is a bit faster though, and I think it has a bit better anti-infantry. So having that Panther, it will retain the armor superiority, especially if you're versing, a Churchill, and if you go for a Firefly, the really heavy anti-tank Sherman variant, then you can't really deal with the Obersoldaten. So I think it's going to have to be a Comet, but his Ipkaifung is so far away in fuel. He only has 100 because he's been cut off really the entire time. That
it's going to be hard.
Yeah, he might have to go for a 6-pounder AT gun.
I mean, he's got one now. One's going to be out on the field, so that's going to be nice, but he's down to 90 VPs.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't make something happen now, he could be in some serious trouble. Might not get to the tank stage from those good things. Does have 1 VP at the moment, but trying to get a hold of 2 is going to be difficult with the Command Panther on the field.
Yeah. And there's no chance to actually kill this Command Panther with no snares. There isn't much really hope for him to kill it, but he can force it away, go for the VPs, and this is a pretty huge collapse. But here come the Commandos as well, so they're going to be able to destroy these Volks up close. Very, very powerful. Obers are focusing them now, though. They weren't in covers. They're taking a little bit of damage. Shrek does fire off. Commando's getting shredded here. Nade comes through, but will it be worth it? Whoa, that was worth it! What?
That was worth it and a half, Machine. One Ober squad does go down, the other one taken down to a single solitary member who will run off home.
Guards, I am sorry, but you are no longer carrying the best grenade in the game. Commandos have taken your throne of best grenades. Yeah, that was crazy. And that was so close because he would have lost that squad on retreat down the road had that nade not done so much. And it was surprising because they were behind cover. Heavy cover reduces all damage by 50%, even by explosives, as long as it's directional, which it was. So, yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was pretty potent. However, we'll survive to cap the VB, and only 70 left here for Ipkaifung.
Yeah, that's a bit iffy now because he still needs to get this right VP. The middle isn't really an option with the 2 Raketans, with the battle group headquarters, and it's very hard to rotate, especially as British, because your squads are pretty immobile.
You can't afford to lose this 6-pounder, and it looks like he will as well now.
Yeah, that's his only AT, but now he has the fuel connected. He has 120 fuel. He could go for a Churchill, and it really wouldn't be ideal. He would get countered pretty hard by the Panther. The Cromwell is very similar to a Sherman, but he doesn't really have much choice. With only 61 VPs, I don't think he can stall for a Comet.
No, probably wouldn't have enough time.
Actually, really, I should check if he has the Comet or the Churchill. It is the Comet, yeah.
I believe, yeah.
What's also really nice is the track vehicle. Tank crews are trained to track enemy vehicles they have hit. They remain visible for a period of time. So that's very, very great for the Sherman Fireflies, because it actually gives you vision, even if the tank is out of your line of sight.
Cool.
And it allows you to sort of try and poke them a bit easier. So if you're going to rely on a Sherman Firefly, going the hammer is actually a good idea. You also then have emergency war speed, which is basically like a blitzkrieg, which for something as weak as a Firefly, it's pretty important. But speaking of important, victory points.
Victory points are quite important, Machine. That's an excellent point. Look, yeah, another 6-pounder coming out here on the side of Ipkaifung, but I'm not sure how he's going to hold this one out. It's probably going to be the game.
Yeah, the middle definitely not an option. We could stall it. There isn't any defenses here, but he won't be able to hold it. 10 VPs, a pretty anticlimactic end, but a very well played game by DesertFoxRommel. Kaifung played well, but he lost his cutoff, and that really was it. Maybe he should have invested in a trench squad. You get a trench, you get 2 Brens in that trench. You're going to hold that point. It's very hard to actually clear that out. Snipers are a good option, but obviously OKW not having access to the snipers. So yeah, that's it. That's a first look at the UK forces, or Brits, whatever you want to call them, coming out September 3rd. So pretty interesting stuff here.
Definitely. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We've been the Generals Gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.